Happy Tuesday, Wolfpack, even if it doesn't end up being Tuesday. Today, I'm going to check out and review a budget headphone mixer, headphone amplifier by FiFine. Now, is this going to be your crazy high-end stuff that you find on Massdrop? Just no, it will not be that. However, this is I'm pretty excited about the possibilities of this device, but let's take a look at it first. They're the same folks who made that K6 karaoke microphone that I reviewed a little bit ago, and that was nice for the price. It was a pretty solid microphone for like $20. So they reached out to me, wanted me to give this a look, so let's go. So it's very small. I honestly was not expecting it to be this small. I think this is the same type of deal as there's a Behringer has one of these as well. But this one, well, this one is very straightforward. So we have the 1 through 4 headphone outs and then the input. So it's all coming out in the same direction, which is a little different than I would expect, but that's fine. And here's your level controls. Pretty nice feeling little knobs there. And it does have a 12-volt power supply. That's 1 amp, and don't lose this because I don't know exactly which end this is that you would use this, but it looks like it'll work. And of course it has a user guide, which details everything that you would need. So that's kind of cool. Okay, so let's look at this thing. It says it on the thing has simple controls. I would say that is very simple controls. There's not much else to it. It has 4 headphone outs, so this would be good if you're doing like a podcast or something like that. That's kind of what I was thinking. I will show you sort of how it sounds through this. There's not really much else for me to do, but I'll show you because I do have a couple of things that I normally do. You could even use this to sort of route out something for streaming. So I'll show you an example of that later on in the video because I'll do a cut so I can hook up everything properly. So this is a very simple device. It says it has ultra low noise, highest levels of signal carriage. We'll see what that is. Just going to test it as is. We're going to see what it can handle. And then for $22, I think you could do worse. It's got nice little feet on it too. There's not, you can't really see it in this light, but it's got the rubber feet so it won't go anywhere. I think this is going to be pretty cool to check out. So I'm going to do a quick not jump cut, but just a quick cut, and we'll see how this thing works. I will be right back. Okay, so let us check out how this ends up working out for us. So what I have, one thing I want to note is if you're going to use this, you need to make sure all of your cords look like this and they're tip ring sleeve cords so that they carry stereo signal. Otherwise, they will not. And so we're going to test a couple of tunes that I've got lying around as just go through the system and everything. And I just want to show you what what it sounds like. So what I'm going to do is we just got it plugged into level 1. I have no reason to expect there to be any issues. I think there's a little bit of noise, admittedly, if you crank it up all the way to 10. If you don't have it cranked up all the way to 10, there's not really too much noise. At least on channel 1, we'll test all the other channels too, so there'll be some sparking things, but that's pretty good. That's the first thing. It says ultra low noise. That's one good thing, so we don't have to worry about that. Now let us try this. Now I've got the signal coming from my Audient at 0 right now. So I'm going to leave this at half, and we're going to see how much gain this thing will do, just so you will all have a good impression of it. We're going to use this song as a test. We've got that cranking in there, and you can hear it right there. Good, so you know that that's working. So let's turn it up, turn it up, turn it up. We're turning it up. This is at 12. Okay. Oh. Okay. So right there, you could hear how it started distorting. So at least from my audience, I would suggest from any sound source that you're doing this from, I would advise making sure that you're not doing anything more than, say, halfway to start with. Now, your mileage may vary. There's probably some sources that you can use that won't have that particular problem. But you could hear it start distorting after I went past half. And of course, it still gives you plenty of room to turn this up. I mean, that's pretty loud. And the sound quality is pretty good. I wouldn't necessarily use this on mixing, but that's not too bad. I mean, that carries the signal just fine. And there's not really any distortion. I mean, if I turn this down, yeah, so there is, it won't carry every single loud signal that you send through it, but it's got an okay amount of headroom. I mean, again, for $22, like, you could do a lot worse, and that's probably all you need it for. Now we're going to turn this down. We're going to hear a click, and we're going to just switch that over. I'll compress that a little bit so it's not so bad. And let's just see if that holds true for this one as well. We'll start from half, and we'll just see what happens. Same sound quality. So it's consistent through the channels so far. Like, even though there's like maybe a little bit of noise we heard earlier, you don't even notice it. So I guess the biggest thing is, if you need a good headphone splitter, this will do it for you. And you can have things test and sit however you need them to. But you just have to be aware that if you turn up your source too loud, and I don't exactly know what the rating for that is, but I can just say probably for most audio interfaces and the like, it will be probably about half. So I guess my final conclusion is, if you get like an Amazon gift card for like $25 and that's what you have, and you've been looking for something like this to either take as a mobile recording rig, or because you want to do podcasts on the go with people and want to split the signal, this is going to do you. It's not too bad. I know there's a lot of competition in this space as well, and I'm not as familiar. This is probably one of the first ones I've used, but I would give the N6 a solid example of that. Just, again, keep in mind that you can't crank it too loud, and I wouldn't use it for mixing, as there seems to be a small amount of sound loss from the very bottom end of the signal rate spectrum. But yeah, that's honestly not too bad. Well, I hope this was all helpful for you if you're in the market for something like this. And if you have any questions, leave them in the comments, and check the link below for the affiliate link to purchase this if you'd like, as it helps me out, and I'm sure FiFine would appreciate it. All right. Thank you all. I hope you have a good day.